Today on Blind Tag Wrestling News Now, New Japan's Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 31 is over halfway home, and we have all the must-see matches, including a major upset happening earlier this morning.
AEW Dynamite is at it again as rumor birds are swarming around who the surprise Joker entrant for Wednesday's Casino ladder match may be.
WWE had night 1 of their annual draft on last Friday's SmackDown. With night 2 set for tonight's Monday Night Raw, we have all the latest.
And by the way, did you call Daniel and David to let them know that Bullet Club's Chase Owens scored a surprise pinfall victory over the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, during their G1 tournament match earlier today in Tokyo?
I did not remember to call Daniel and David.
Dang it.
But
you had one job.
If I did call them, I bet the internet would be ablaze.
Yes,
about
perhaps.
that. I would have to call them for the Revolution or
yes,
for the Revenant.
You
or
would indeed. Something like that.
F the Revival or whatever that was. I don't remember what it was. It's a million things all rolled into one. Hey, I can't wait to see, before I get to that, by the way, part, can't wait to hear that new theme song, by the way.
Yeah.
The new Midnight Express-y type theme song.
Oh, it's going to be great.
For Daniel and David. D&D Express there.
We're not Daniel and David,
No,
though.
we're not. I'm John.
I'm Raja.
And you are watching Blind Tag Wrestling News Now.
You are indeed.
And speaking of now, earlier this morning, which is super earlier this morning, Tokyo time, something big happened.
Oh, man.
All right, well, a G1 tournament, and we'll get into all the good G1 goodies of it. That's the Goodness One tournament. We'll get into all the wonderfulness of it all. But one of the most coolest things ever, most coolest, only here on Blind Tag Wrestling News Now. One of the coolest things ever happened is the crown jewel of the Bullet Club, Chase Owens, who has had his matches. He hadn't won a match yet, right? So his matches have been sort of telling their own story.
Right.
You have a story in a match, but per matches, match by match, it's been getting closer and closer.
It has.
He's been having outstanding matches. Now, any of us who have known Chase or have seen Chase's work over the years have seen him have these 5-star classics. Okay, it's indie-rific, incredible matches, and I shouldn't really say indie-rific. He's got, if it was college football, he would be in a pro system.
Yeah,
you know, he's ready. He's always been. His matches have always been that pro style instead of like a scramble or something like that. Some Georgia Tech crap. But it's Tanahashi. Freaking Tanahashi.
Wow.
The ace of New Japan.
Yeah.
Had the curtain jerk match in today's tournament. And the match, you know, was the normal fare and you would expect from the Tanahashi match, and, you know, little guitar playing. I mean, and plus it was at the halls of the Kurokon there. I mean, it was as good as it can get, right?
It was fabulous.
It's what you love. But Chase was given an incredible fight during this, and he kept trying to go for the knees of Tana, because that's, you know, long storied problem with his knees.
Yes.
And it was beautiful. I mean, some of the stuff, instead of like the 1-2 punch back and forth, it was like punch, oh, I'm going to drop kick your knee. So it was really good, and the story had really been building. And Kevin Kelly on commentary, who's a master of commentary, I was just talking about this yesterday, like, this guy should be doing everything, right, that I watch. And I understand there's the great Excaliburs out there. There's Jim Ross. There's all these wonderful ones. I'm not going to say Michael Cole. But, you know, Kevin Kelly's so incredible. And part of what makes him incredible is telling this incredible story to go along with all this and all the backstory and everything. And knowing all the backstory, it even made it that more important.
Yeah.
So Chase went for some roll-ups. He went for some small packages and stuff and didn't get it. Still yet, nobody's expecting anything.
No.
We get the high fry fro, and right at the very last second, Chase's knees come up.
It looked painful.
We're like, what? Wipe the sleep out of your eyes. You're sleep deprived, you know, 5 a.m. watching New Japan kind of stuff.
Suzuki, come back.
Yeah. What's going on? And before you know it, I mean, you got the C triggers that look a lot like the V triggers, but they're different.
Yeah.
It's just the way you just.
Yeah.
It's
the
like.
mechanics.
Did you ever see the Vanilla Ice talking about Queen?
Yes.
Okay, so these dirty, terrible people said that when he made Ice Ice Baby, that he had ripped off Under Pressure.
Right.
And it was totally not.
But see, the V trigger goes da 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 da, and the C trigger goes da 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 da. Yeah. Exactly.
Completely different.
Completely different.
And even if he did, he's played live on stage with Queen before. He's been a tag team partner of Queen's. And Queen's wished him happy birthday on Facebook. So,
and gave him a blessing.
Yes. And so what happened, folks? What happened? Well, we had a package pile driver. And
Finally.
It's a thing of beauty. It looks something like this. See how low the head is? That means I'm going to kill Tana.
Well, he didn't get up, so.
He didn't get up.
You know.
Chase Owens won his first match of the tournament. It's a huge upset.
Yeah.
Because it's Tana. Listen, God could pin Tana. And we would call it an upset. You know.
He did. It was Okada. He did it earlier in the tournament.
Oh, I see what you did there, little Ogata.
He's looking like it.
He is. He is God level Okada right now. So congratulations to Chase Owens. It is really cool. And what a win. What a first win. My favorite thing is afterwards. Because I don't know if you've ever heard of this or not, but there are trolls
right
on the internet. Now,
yes.
I didn't know trolls actually existed, but I can only imagine.
Bridges.
I can only imagine that there's free internet under bridges.
Yeah, apparently.
And that all these little trolls are like, and they only know how to talk negative about anything.
Yeah.
So I have this picture in my head of all these trolls all under a bridge, you know, just like kind of tapping like the cat does on that GIF, you know. So it's these trolls like to put shade out.
Yeah. That's what they do.
You know, because they don't have anything better to do. But this is a beautiful moment. It's a great moment for Chase Owens. It's a really cool moment in a tournament. It's the kind of moments you remember in these tournaments, and especially for, you know, somebody that's put in 7 years in New Japan Pro Wrestling and Bullet Club, and has been that guy, you know, that utility guy at times, and the person that, you know, hey, if there's 10 people out there wanting to fight us, they throw him out and kind of close the door. All right, I got it. And, you know, so it's really nice to see good people get
opportunities.
You know, opportunities, and
like a U.S. title opportunity.
And that's where I was going with that. In New Japan, as we have previously chronicled, if you pin a champion, you get a title shot.
Yes.
Tana just happens to have that New Japan Pro Wrestling United States title.
He does.
Okay. So, other stuff going on.
Oh, goodness. As much as we love Chase, and we could talk about him all day, the story of the G1 right now is Mr. Zack Sabre Jr. and his wins.
ZSJ.
Yes. He is just owning the A block right now, even though he lost to Ishii in his last match.
And I was so torn. I could not believe. This was the first time I've ever watched a Tomohiro Ishii match where I kind of didn't want him to win.
Right.
It's so weird. I didn't go into this tournament being a gigantic ZSJ fan.
No.
Now, I did start turning. I will admit, I started turning my opinion of him back during a tag tournament. Mm-hmm. When, I mean, that was like last December, maybe.
Right.
And I was turning it because he had some altercations with Bullet Club, the bad elements, like the evil elements of Bullet Club.
We liked the tag team.
Yeah. So I love the Techers, and, you know, that's where it's really started turning for me. But then you're reminded of just how next level world-class athlete he is.
Yeah.
And then you get the promos.
Yeah.
After the world-class athlete,
so great.
You get him in the back going, you know,
yeah, Jackie Big Techers. Yeah, what about y'all, Dragon Bollocks?
It's impossible to not enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, even when he comes out, as soon as he comes out through the curtain, he's just like,
nah.
It's just, I love it.
It's amazing.
It's everything I need.
Yes.
And, you know, so it was a fantastic match, though. Sometimes you don't lose even though you're losing, and that was one of those cases because it was a good match. And
Ishii needed a win.
Yeah, plus the story, man. I mean, you're getting destroyed, match after match.
Yeah.
The whole thing that with New Japan and the beauty of the storytelling is when you get in the second half of the tournament, it's not going to look like it did in the first half of the tournament. You're tired. You're selling your injuries from 3 matches ago.
Right.
It's the beauty of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at on
this
that.
tournament is just amazing.
So Ishii is, now on the right path as well.
Yes, he's beat Zack Sabre Jr. as well as Tongaloa, so he's getting back to where he should be.
Right.
In the mid range of the scoring.
Yeah.
Usually, as it stands, A Block has 4 people at 8 points, so it's still a toss up. Zack Sabre Jr. though, he doesn't have those gimme 2 points like everyone else does because he faced Naito.
Yeah.
So everyone else has like an
gimme.
extra head up on him. And of course, in the B block, we have 2 undefeateds right now in Okada and Jeff Cobb, who don't face until the last day of the tournament and are on a collision course. And that story just,
Wow.
Okada hasn't had a win against Jeff Cobb in months. He needs it back to win the tournament.
Jeff Cobb did that thing that you do in your career. You hit a stride.
Yeah.
And he's hit that stride. I honestly, I don't think you actually hit your top form as a professional wrestler until your mid-30s. I think the sweet spot's like 35 to 40.
Yeah.
And I really do. And I think that for some people it goes a little bit further. I think for some other people it starts a little bit earlier, but really kind of the sweet spot there. And you got a 25-year-old out there going, yeah, I disagree with that. Just wait. Just wait.
Just wait.
Because anything that you had to think about on your last match becomes muscle memory. And there's a seasoning. There's just something different to it. So I think that Jeff Cobb is definitely at his at his stride.
I think he and Okada are going to go undefeated till that last night, and then they're going to go head-to-head for the block.
This is Okada's tournament.
It is. I agree. He needs the win back over Cobb after these last few months.
This is Okada's tournament.
It's going to be insane, though.
This is like the Okada Revenge Tour.
Yeah, he's going to win it all.
He's really, it's not like he had to find himself, whereas you got like Kota Ibushi.
Mm-hmm.
Kota Ibushi started, as we chronicled on this show, Kota Ibushi started slow.
Yeah, very, very slow.
I mean, like, helmet slow.
Like losing to Yujiro Takahashi slow.
Like not that there's anything wrong with Yujiro Takahashi.
No, but it's different.
He's had his better singles days in the past.
Yes.
And it's just not what you're expecting.
No.
So, Kota also looked like, honestly, he looked like a jaundiced simpleton. Like I can't there was something wrong. It was like I was adjusting the color on my set. Like, that's not Kota Ibushi. Normally when he comes out, it's just like, and he's like, hello.
Pale, kind of sickly still.
I'm Kota Ibushi. And it's all beautiful and gorgeous.
Because he's the Golden Star.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's back.
Yes. He just had a match against Shingo Takagi.
And Golden starred all over him.
He's back. Trust me. So honestly, we're halfway through this tournament and there's still some crazy stuff coming up. But if you want to go back and see some must-see matches from the tournament so far.
I do.
Oh
What should I watch, Rasha?
Well, first of all, we have to throw out there Zack Sabre Jr. versus Great-O-Khan, which we did not expect to be as good as it was.
We wouldn't have watched it.
It was incredible.
We watch them all, but sometimes we watch them like, oh, I hit the fast forward. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh,
look who won.
Oh,
they don't have to go back now.
Dang it. But.
Oh, goodness. Well, Ishii versus Shingo, of course. Ishii versus Kota. If Ishii's in the match, you need to watch it.
Yeah, and real quick, that Great-O-Khan match.
Oh, man.
Listen, do you like wrestling?
Yes.
Do you like professional wrestling where wrestlers wrestle in reverse holds?
Yes.
And it becomes a struggle between two men that are highly skilled in an athletic contest.
Yes.
That's this match.
Yes.
If you ever wondered what the pedigree for Great-O-Khan might be, or as I like to call him, GOK. They just haven't done it yet.
He's competed in literally like every martial art.
He has.
That you could think of.
He has. He's a martial whore.
Apparently.
Yeah.
He's amazing on the mat. And with Zack Sabre Jr., it's just elevated. Like
it was a hell of a match,
1,000%.
man. It even had that cool, like, in like a really cool tough man movie, where you got the badass superhero and you got this badass villain. It's also kind of cool, and they're kind of smiling as they're fighting because they don't necessarily hate each other. Think of Rocky when he's in the ring with Apollo, but he's, at the end of that one, and they're just like, oh yeah, okay, and they're smiling, and then it's kind of like that, man. Zach brings that out in people. I've noticed that a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like he'll be teasing with them, and they'll be like, yeah, all right, trying to one up each other. It's really fun. It's really
This has
fun.
made me even more excited for Zack Sabre Jr. to face Bryan Danielson. I'll just say that. That needs to happen. Like, they've called each other out. It needs to happen, okay? But honestly, the A block is a lot of fun. The B block has been a little tainted by Evil, messing stuff up with the House of Torture.
There's heat.
A little bit. Not the right kind of heat.
And then there's X-Pac heat. This, as I've said before, is renaming X-Pac heat.
Evil heat.
Evil heat.
Oh, man. It's just not fun anymore.
I'm over it, Evil. I'm over it. I'm just... Ugh.
Oh, man. But all of the matches are just a lot of fun.
I
And
thought-
we've still got 8 more nights.
My God.
And the final.
We've got tiny reindeer. I mean, my God.
Got like an entire month still of G1. It's so much fun.
Somewhat, yes. But
No more sleep for the rest of the month.
no, it's really cool. And this is amazing. We just want to catch you up, and hopefully you see the brackets below us. And,
Yes. standing.
you've been able to see what's going on with that. So we're really excited about this.
Obviously.
We'll keep you going with it. But that's some of the ones you really do need to check out, and my God, you just never know what's going to happen. So speaking of never knowing what's going to happen, what's next?
I guess we should talk a little bit about the WWE Draft that's
Yeah,
going
we know
on.
what's going to happen. That's not always a good thing.
No. Of course, we had the first night of the draft. And
We did.
We had things like Roman Reigns staying on SmackDown, Big E moving to Raw,
What a shocker.
Charlotte moving to SmackDown.
That was a shocker.
That was a bit of a shocker, yes. Bianca Belair going to Raw.
The rumor was that the network wanted Charlotte on there. So I don't know what,
blame them.
This the whole pinch of salt. I don't know what to believe, but it does make sense, really.
It does, yes. And of course, we have the second night of the draft tonight, and there's still some big names waiting to be drafted.
Right, and there's going to be some big things happen. I mean, they've got 3 hours of that. I mean, they're definitely going to have some kind of surprise brewing for that. And they've been loading up the shows, so God only knows.
One of the most interesting things, I think, is the fact that the Usos haven't been drafted, despite being tag team champions on SmackDown, and they're going to make an appearance on Raw tonight. And Roman told Paul Heyman, do not let them get drafted to Raw. Make sure it does not happen, and if it does, don't come back.
Well, leave him for dead.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there. In fact,
man.
I still think, honestly, that Brock is truly with Paul, even though, see, it's the whole double thing.
Right.
Like, Brock's trying to make them think that Paul Heyman's with him.
Right.
Even though that's just a ruse, because Paul's obviously with his tribal chief.
Yes.
Which is the best thing on WWE TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my tribal chief. Yes, my tribal chief. And, we think that we know, because we're seeing all the behind the scenes stuff. And we're thinking, oh, well, he's definitely with Roman, and Brock's just doing this.
Right.
I think that he's with Brock Lesnar. Personally, I think it's going to
I mean, he could be. He could be like swerving them both.
No, I really think it's going. Oh yeah,
Like, I'm with you, Brock, but he's really with Roman.
maybe
but
he's
Roman
really
thinks
with Ronda Rousey. She comes out, whoops them both, and they're like, it's a new day in WWE.
Oh man.
All right,
He's just trying to form a tag team between Brock and Roman to like lord over.
geez, that
That's
would
his
be
game plan.
I'd put some face paint on them though. They'd be good at face paint, mohawks.
Oh man. Before we head out, I think we need to talk about the casino ladder match and the rumors.
They are swirling. Wait,
They are swirling.
dang it! You had to mention it.
Sorry. We
The
have
rumor
to talk
birds.
about it. They're everywhere. We have to address them, okay? So listen, we know the first 6 entrants in the ladder match.
We do.
So we've got Jon Moxley, Andrade El Idolo, Lance Archer, Pac, Orange Cassidy, and Matt Hardy.
It's already a damn main event.
It is. And I could see any one of them challenging for the title.
I can too.
But there's that Joker. And the Joker always has a leg up because nobody knows who he is. And he gets to come in last.
Last Joker we had in one of these matches was Brian Cage, who won the match.
Yes.
So, who's the Joker going to be? Well, there's rumors.
A lot of them.
They are a swirling. One of which was because of a certain tweet that a former Buddy Murphy, now Buddy Matthews, was he put up a Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And,
it has since been deleted.
It has since been deleted.
But we saw it.
We did see it, buddy. We're watching you. We know, buddy. We know. So that would be exciting.
It would be, yes.
And, even though a lot of the offense that Buddy Matthews does is very similar to some of the Omega type offense and stuff. So there's a lot of people that's been wanting to see that match, pining for that.
Match sort of deal.
I think it's good, and I think that he could do a lot of good and open up his style, because he's obviously got that style of wrestling, and he could really do a lot of things on the AEW roster. But we'd be remiss if we didn't mention some of the other things it could be.
Like the Heart pick. Hangman Page.
Right.
Like, who doesn't want Hangman to come get his title match back?
Right. He comes in, boom, surprise factor, and he makes the big return and gets that title match, and gets the title even.
Full Gear.
I mean, yeah.
It's basically a Hangman pay-per-view.
It was named for the joke with Hangman in the first place.
It was.
So, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
But if that wouldn't happen, there's other rumors out there. You've still got the Wyndham Rotundo rumor. It's not going to go away until we find him somewhere.
Yeah, until he shows up somewhere, everyone's going to put him everywhere.
You got Adam Shearer, you got Braun Strowman, that is still, again, until he shows up somewhere, although it's pointing toward Impact.
He would decimate that man.
I mean, yeah.
It's like
scary. It would. You want to make sure it's a reinforced ladder.
Right, yeah.
But, I mean, that could happen. There's also a rumor you were telling me about.
Yes, a rumor about Mr. Cody Rhodes just saying, screw everything, going in the ladder match, getting a title shot, even though he said he'd never challenge for the title.
I could see it happening because he's wanting to earn the respect of Arn Anderson back.
Right.
Because he didn't go, well, screw you, Arn. So if he's wanting to get that respect back from Arn Anderson, do something in Anderson would do.
He's going to grab the brass ring.
So go out there and be like, you know what? I'm going to shoot that guy.
Sort of.
I still can't believe. Anyway, he's going to go out there and go, I'm going to take that opportunity.
Yeah.
And even though I lost a match saying I would never do this, the hell with it. I'm going to win this, and I'm going to go after that title. Now, let me tell you something. Cody Rhodes doing that. Now, that kind of heat. Oh, my God.
That's the kind of heel Cody Rhodes we live for.
Mama, shut your mouth. I am telling you, that's a kiss the ring, Cody. That's bringing the bear back. I mean, that is awesome. I would love it. What a heel. What a heel.
People would lose their minds.
Some of us for different reasons than others.
Yeah.
But I would love it. But, that's all the rumors that it could be. I mean, and then you've always got that Tony Khan. Well, it could just be a surprise.
Right? Like, it's nobody that anyone saw.
Yeah. And there's also that lukewarm one that we've had before at certain times. Like, it could just be somebody you just don't expect.
It's just Peter Avalon.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you're just like, oh, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, cool.
It's okay.
And then there's always the chance that the match could end before the Joker even comes out.
Oh, my God.
If someone gets the thing.
That is so crazy.
So
they've got to do that once.
Yeah.
Just to make that a possibility.
And the Joker never comes out, and we never know who it is.
They're like, well, we were going to sign him, but he
sorry.
Yeah, that was his tryout. It was, really strange. It's weird. It's just weird how that worked.
Oh, man.
So a lot of great stuff, man. So much good going on right now.
Yes.
I mean, even if you look at like Danielson and Nick Jackson from Friday Night's Rampage, there's so much going on.
Oh, yeah.
Edge calling FTR on, randomly. There's a lot of fun everywhere.
Man, if you want some AEW before Wednesday, Dark Elevation's like pretty stacked tonight too.
Yeah.
With FTR and 2.0 and Daniel Garcia. I mean, everyone's making Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
If you want to see your favorite stars.
And Proper Dark tomorrow night is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
So that's like almost like watch along level with us, where we're like, maybe we should do it because we have a lot of fun with it. But,
oh, yeah.
I don't have any good, warning for you today whatsoever, except
you see evil skulking around.
Except if you are to do a high fly flow, watch out for needs. For Raja, I'm John. So long from Blind Tag Wrestling News. Now, bye.